Hi everyone, I'm Pratima. So I don't know if you've noticed, but compact phones are kind of becoming the new trend in the smartphone market right now. And if reports are to be believed, in that category, the iPhone 17 is selling like hotcakes. And it looks like Vivo is getting its strategy right as well. A few months ago, they launched the X200 FE, which has been quite a success. And now they've introduced their first compact flagship phone. So this is the Vivo X300, the chota version of the X300 Pro, and I think this might just destroy the iPhone 17 because this phone barely has any compromises and will likely be cheaper than the iPhone 17 as well. It's got the perfect size, a flagship chipset, a big battery, and Vivo has somehow fitted in a 200 megapixel camera here too, all while keeping the weight in check. So for anyone who has small hands like me, once you get used to holding this, there is no going back. This is a really comfortable phone to hold. The Vivo X300 also feels surprisingly premium to hold. We get a glass back with a softy matte finish and aluminum frames, just like the more expensive X300 Pro. And even with sweaty hands, this back here does not get smudged easily, which is such a relief. Vivo has not compromised on the ingress protection either. It's both IP68 and IP69 here. Although I am not sure how Vivo's own glass protection holds up against scratches and drops, we'll have to wait for Jerry Riggs' test to find that out. Anyway, the display side is equally impressive here. It's a 6.3 inches 120Hz LTPO AMOLED screen with all the features like HDR10+, 2160Hz PWM dimming, and an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor that is super reliable. It's fast and it's also placed at the right position. Now, if I really have to nitpick, this phone does not have Dolby Vision support like the X300 Pro and the iPhone 17, so some Dolby Vision mastered content does not look as immersive in comparison, but regular HDR10+ videos play exceptionally well. Actually, the default color calibration is quite pleasing to the eyes, and the even bezels on all sides add to the already good experience. I love how bright this screen is in any given condition as well, going nearly 2000 nits in auto mode, and when playing HDR content, this phone can go up to 4500 nits. It can also dim down as low as 1 nit too, so while using this phone during daytime or nighttime, I have never had any issues with visibility. But I will be honest with you, I think Vivo could have done a slightly better job with the speakers here. They are loud, yes, but the audio is not the most balanced. The trebles are all over the place. The iPhone 17 definitely gives you a better listening experience. Also, I felt like the haptics on the iPhone 17 are slightly better, more precise than the Vivo X300 while typing. Not that X300's vibration is bad or anything. Vivo has actually used a bigger vibration motor this time, so while ringing, you can feel that impact nicely, but it's just that in comparison, it isn't as crisp. I know I'm getting a little nitpicky at this point, so coming to something positive, the one thing Vivo has nailed on this phone is the battery life. This is a screenshot of what my normal usage looks like, and you can see that this tiny phone gave me more than 8 hours of screen on time. The only other compact phone that gave me similar endurance is Vivo's own X200 FE. Now, just for information, the iPhone 17 lasted about 7 hours under similar usage. And with Chinese phones, what you also get is the perk of faster charging. With the 90-watt charger which comes inside the box, the X300 can go from 0 to 100% in about 38 to 40 minutes, which is pretty darn fast. Next, I am very happy that Vivo has not compromised on the performance side either. We get the same Dimensity 9500 chip here, which you find on the Pro version of this phone as well. We get the same LPDDR5X RAM and the same UFS 4.1 storage. And as I said in my Vivo X300 Pro review, this MediaTek chipset is almost as good as the latest Snapdragon chip and Apple's A19 in almost all of the areas, only falling a little short in GPU and single-core benchmarks, but in real-life usage, the performance is really fast. In fact, when it comes to storage benchmarks and data transfer speeds, this phone is way faster than the iPhone 17. Actually, you know what? I am planning on bringing a dedicated comparison video of these two phones, comparing the performance, the cameras, everything. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel and make sure to hit that notifications icon to never miss an update. Okay, moving on, gaming on this phone is a good experience too in terms of smoothness, but the smaller chassis definitely bottlenecks the performance. After like 20 to 30 minutes into any demanding game, this phone starts getting warm. In fact, if you look at 3D Mark's test I ran, you can see that the performance has throttled quite a bit. But again, if you're only a casual gamer, that should not be a problem. The good news, however, is that Vivo has worked really hard on the software this time. The new Origin OS is quite refined. It's not as good as something like One UI or Oxygen OS, but the animations have become smoother and the overall responsiveness is also so much better this time. Okay, moving on, I think the one thing that gives the Vivo X300 an edge over all the other compact phones is its camera. Mostly when it comes to compact flagships, brands tend to make little compromises here and there, but here on this phone, we are getting a 200 megapixel primary lens. It's the same Samsung HPB sensor which Vivo has used as telephoto on the X300 Pro. Then we have a 50 megapixel Sony LYT-602 3x telephoto lens, and finally another 50 megapixel Samsung JN1 ultra-wide lens. First, I am happy that Vivo has not missed out on their partnership with Zeiss on the X300. So, like the X300 Pro, you get different modes, vivid, natural, texture, and so on. For this review, I mostly shot in the Zeiss natural mode, and I really like the colors that I was able to get in the images, not too flashy yet eye-catching. Unfortunately, Vivo has not included the separate VS1 and V3 Plus chip here like we get on the Pro model, so the image processing and shutter speed is not as fast, but it's nothing to complain about either. In fact, I love how sharp and crisp the photos come out, especially if you compare it side by side with the iPhone 17. You can see the 200 megapixel sensor pulling out better details. You do get a cooler tone in photos from the X300 versus warm, yellowish tone on the iPhone 17, but the quality of pictures with respect to dynamic range, contrast, and shadow processing is good on both. The ultra-wide photos both during the day and the night are better from the iPhone. It's wider, pulls out more details, and has less noise in general. I guess you could say that the only Achilles heel on the X300's cameras is its ultra-wide lens. The color reproduction and all is nice, but other things could definitely have been better. Nonetheless, its telephoto camera is the one that deserves a lot of credit. First, the macros from it are amazing. The focus lock is instantaneous, the details are good, and I love the natural bokeh it brings out. Again, since this is not a 200 megapixel sensor like on the Vivo X300 Pro, zooming into 6 or 10x for macros will not result in the most sharp pictures. I found the 3x ones looking the best. Next, the portraits are also quite nice here. We know that the iPhone 17 crops into the main camera for 2x portraits, but here with the dedicated 3x telephoto lens, number one, you get a better perspective. Number two, there's a lot of flexibility to change focal lengths, and number three, on the X300, the colors are optimized better like 90% of the time. Again, it's Vivo, so you will see brightening and smoothening on the skin, but for me, having not to edit my photos before posting on social media is a blessing. To be fair, the beautification sometimes can look too much on male skin. Like in this picture, my colleague looks like he has makeup on. The selfies are nice and sharp though, thanks to the new 50 megapixel sensor with autofocus. The colors and details like the portraits are good but slightly beautified. Even in selfie videos, you can notice a little smoothening, but it looks good, so I won't complain. You can go up to 4K 60 FPS in resolution, but I generally shot at 30 FPS and the videos have good stabilization. From the back camera, this time Vivo has added a 4K 120 FPS option along with the usual 30 and 60 FPS modes. In the 120 FPS mode, the stabilization is not that great, but in the 30 and 60 FPS options, it's quite good, almost on iPhone 17's level. The iPhone 17 has slightly better smoothness though. So overall, as someone who personally loves compact devices, I've had a great time with the Vivo X300. As I said earlier, there are very little to no compromises here. The design feels premium, the display is solid, the battery life is probably one of the best on a compact phone, performance is flagship level, and the cameras more than justify the price. Of course, if it had a slightly more aggressive cooling system, this phone would have nailed the gaming aspect too, but for someone like me who isn't a lot into gaming and just wants a good flagship Android experience in a compact size, this is a great phone. And honestly, after switching from the iPhone 17 to this phone, I haven't missed anything about it. It's that good. Alright everyone, that was all for our full review of this compact Vivo X300. I will be making a dedicated comparison video of this phone with the iPhone 17, so if you don't want to miss it, please stay subscribed to the channel, and while you're there, please do not forget to hit that notifications icon. Saying this, I'm Pratima and thank you so much for watching.